Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's currently March 26th, 2025, and I've been rocking the PS5 Pro for about a month now. I picked one up recently, and let me tell you, it's been an absolute blast. From Black Ops 6 at a silky 120 FPS to co-op chaos with my wife on Split Fiction, this thing's got me hooked. Today we're diving deep. Specs, how it stacks up to the base PS5, big games that shine on it, and even why I think it's a better deal than a PC. So hit that like button if you're a PlayStation fan, and let's jump in. So I grabbed my PS5 Pro in late February, and right out the gate, this thing's a beast. It's chunkier than my old base PS5, about 30% bigger, but it's got that sleek Sony vibe I love. Setup was smooth as butter. I transferred my games, hooked it up to my 4K monitor, and I was off. Sony's pitching this as a mid-gen powerhouse with better visuals, higher frame rates, and tech like PSSR upscaling and beefed up ray tracing. After a month, I can say it's living up to the hype. Let's break it down with what I've been playing. Before we get into the games, let's talk specs, because this is where the Pro flexes. It's got a 10% faster CPU clock speed than the base or slim PS5, but the real star is the GPU. 16.7 teraflops of power, way up from the base's 10.28. That's a 67% jump in raw compute, plus 28% more memory bandwidth. It's still rocking 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 RAM, but it's paired with a custom RDNA 3 GPU from AMD. Think better ray tracing and that PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR, which uses AI to upscale games to 4K without tanking performance. Compared to the base or slim PS5, it's honestly night and day. Those models cap out at 60 FPS for most games, and lean on dynamic resolution. Solid, but not pro level. The Slim's just a smaller base PS5 with a detachable disk drive, while the Pro's built for enthusiasts who want 120 FPS and sharper visuals. Oh, and it's got a 2TB SSD standard? No more storage woes. It's a beefy upgrade, no question. Now, on to the games. Starting with Call of Duty Black Ops 6, this was my first Pro test, and it's unreal. The base PS5 ran it at 60 FPS, but the Pro's 120Hz mode hits 120 FPS, and it's like, I've got aimbot. It's that smooth. Multiplayer feels snappy, and zombies with friends is chaotic perfection. Visually, the Pro kicks it up with better ray tracing. Reflections on guns and wet maps like grind shimmer, and the global illumination makes lighting feel alive. PSSR keeps it locked at 4K without hiccups. It's not a total remake of the base version, but the frame rate boost, well, my KD's never been happier. Then there's Split Fiction. My wife and I are honestly obsessed. Hazelight dropped this in early March, and on the Pro, it's locked at 60 FPS in 4K split screen. No lag, no stutters, just pure co-op fun. The visuals are crisp, characters, environments, even little details like book pages popping off the screen. We're bouncing between flying spaceships and dodging fantasy trolls, and the Friends Pass means we only needed one copy. It's been our go-to for game nights, and we're streaming it soon. Stay tuned for that. It's not just my favorites either. Tons of big games are flexing on the Pro. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 now has a 120 FPS mode with ray-traced reflections. Swinging through New York feels smoother than ever, and puddles actually reflect the city. Elden Ring got a Pro patch too. It's 60 FPS with enhanced ray tracing, making the lands between look hauntingly gorgeous. Those golden trees just hit different. Even GTA 5, yeah, it's ancient, runs its 4K 60 FPS with better shadows and a draw distance. And here's a kicker. Xbox games like Starfield and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle are coming to PS5 this year, and the Pro's extra power makes it the definitive console way to play them. More on that in a second. Speaking of Xbox, I've got to mention the Series X real quick. It's a beast, not gonna lie. 12 teraflops, solid 4K 60 FPS performance, but the PS5 Pro's edging it out in some ways. That 16.7 teraflop GPU and PSSR give it a visual edge. Especially for 120 FPS modes, the Series X struggles to hit consistently. It's wild to think the Pro's about to be the best console for Xbox games like Starfield. This isn't a full-on comparison video. Xbox has its strengths like Game Pass, but the Pro's raw power is flexing hard right now. And here's a hot take. At $700, I think the PS5 Pro's a better value than an equivalent PC build. A rig with a GPU like an RTX 4070, a decent CPU, 16 gigs of RAM, and 2TB SSD, you're looking at about $1,200 to $1,500 easy, plus assembly and updates. The Pro's plug and play, optimized for gaming, and nails 4K 120 out the box. For the price, it's a steal if you're not a PC tinker like me. So, is the PS5 Pro worth $700 after a month? For me, absolutely. Black Ops 6 at 120 FPS, split fiction with my wife, and big hitters like Spider-Man 2, it's a dream for enthusiasts. Compared to the base or slim, it's a leap. Compared to a PC, it's a bargain. If you're fine with 60 FPS on a base PS5, maybe skip it. But if you crave that extra oomph, it's a no-brainer. What do you think? Drop it in the comments. That's it for today. The PS5 Pro has been a wild ride, and I'm stoked to keep pushing it. Hit subscribe and that bell for more gaming goodness. Oh, and catch me and my wife streaming Split Fiction live on Twitch soon. Links in the description below. Come hang out. It's going to be epic. Until next time, keep gaming, and I'll see you in the next one.